Thank you very much. And next up is the winner of the school category. This is Approach Design Studio, who are working with Zhejiang University of Technology. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marty. I'm director of Approach Design Studio and of GDD from Hangzhou, China. Here with me is my translator, Xu Haotian. This is a broad exploration in Chinese campus design since its opening day last year, and it has sparked a lot of attention and discussion in China. Our focus in this project is not about how to design a school, not about the new form, new facade, new space, or new materials, what we think about, but rather how to design a new way of campus life. Our project is to design a boarding high school with 30 classes in Ningbo, one of the major cities in China. As we all know, population in Chinese cities are increasing very rapidly, and as a result, urban schools are in very high demand. On the other hand, urban land resources in China are highly limited, so that decision makers are forced to make as many education in facilities in confined spaces. Therefore, in most Chinese urban school designs, efficiency comes first. Many schools are designed with an efficiency-first mindset. You know, all Chinese students are under very high, very heavy study pressures, but these campuses leave barely any space for them to relax or decompress there. Efficiency surely is important, but for this adolescent kids, we believe that having a space to relax, completely relax and relieve stress in a timely manner is more pressure. If we ask ourselves when do we feel most relaxed, I think the best answer is we are wasting time. Wasting time has always been considered a negative word, but however, for students under very heavy academic pressure, most of moments of wasting time and completely emptying their minds seem to be the best way to decompress and relax. So in this project, we aim to design a high school where students can waste time mindfully. About the program, the school gate is on the north side. We put the theater and the fitness hall on each side of the entrance, and in the middle are the teaching buildings next to the check field. The cafeteria and the dorms are on the north side. Then we distribute efficiency. While keeping the total floor area unchanged, we made the teaching buildings as compact and efficient as possible. This leaves us with a large, low-efficient space facing the check field. And we turn this vacant space into a floating forest. This forest connects to every floor of the teaching buildings, allowing students to access quickly. This is a space embraced by nature and sunshine, a complete departure from a typical school environment, and is full of natural power. Even if there are only 10 minutes between classes, children can quickly arrive here and waste time mindfully, and after 10 minutes, they can come back to classroom with a renewed spirit. Different from the rigid teaching buildings, we want this forest to be very soft and filled with nature. We have put a variety of vegetation within the forest. It will change this with each passing season. All the stone slabs are placed between the green, resembling a countryside. We also cast concrete walls and pillars using bamboo and wooden panels as molds, in order to let natural imprint can penetrate everywhere of the forest. We want to create a space within the school that looks nothing like a school. In this forest, we have hung several different shaped tree houses on the pillars. We didn't assign their purpose. Students can define their functions themselves. We found that most of students prefer to move their classes into these tree houses. Clearly, it's more interesting than in a regular classroom. We have designed an intertwined and elevated gallery to connect all the tree houses. Students enjoy wandering aimlessly along the galleries and moving between the tree houses and the tree tops, occasionally stopping to play or just gazing at the playground. Here, time and pressure will both ease off. Traditional school buildings separate the site. It creates several enclosed and oppressive spaces in between. In this project, we raised all the teaching buildings off the ground and creating a series of interesting outdoor activity spaces. We can see here, we spread the theater, library, and I forgot one sentence. In this project, we spread the theater, library, cafeteria, and the labs along the street, creating a series of interesting spaces. We can see here students enter the campus as if they are in a park. They can roam freely across the campus, and instead of walking past a bunch of rigid buildings, boring gaps, and maybe enclosed spaces. The interconnected buildings create an oversized rooftop park with overlapping passages. Looks like a Mobius strip. The rooftop park also connects with the forest, together creating a diverse and endless loop, and the students love it so much. By the way, there are opening days when weekend, and all the public can use this space, share this space, and enjoy their weekend. They can also use the fitness hall and the track field in the weekend. We use this gentle slope to set up an open-air lecture space so that classes can also be held on the roof. When students stepped on this rooftop park, the whole stressful school will completely disappear from their view, and all they can see is the vast city and the boundless sky. At this moment, body and mind experience complete relaxation. Typically, the side of a school facing the track field is the most important facade. But here, we made this facade disappeared, replaced it with a natural forest, and we believe that the nature and the students are the best designers. Many buildings achieve their aesthetics on completion day, but this school is quite the opposite. When newly built, it is at its most immature, and with time, all the vegetation will flourish. We anticipate that the vines will cover all the pillars, all the walls, and the galleries. Perhaps in 5 or 10 years, it will be a full forest. We wish this building will grow naturally over time. Thank you.
You finished? You did a very efficient presentation. 2 minutes are left. So, no, I think that your project has a very smart beginning, no? With this idea of not occupying the whole space with the classes and so on, and trying to represent more like a single building that in fact is not a single building because there are the other blocks behind. But I mean, I like very much the way you connect the relation with the open space of the athletic area with this kind of linear park that create many, I would say, situations and conditions for the students' relationships. So maybe you still have 1 minute. Can you explain a bit more about what has been your experience also about with the Chinese officials? So how they react about your proposal, and I mean, this has inspired other places and so on, no? Because breaking the rules in China is not very usual, I would say. So what has been the reaction?
Thank you. This school is quite different from the traditional school campus in China. When we put this forest in front of the officials, they were shocked. But after my explanation, and they accepted it, because they all know all the Chinese students are under very heavy study pressures, yeah, and so they want such a place to let them feel very relaxed and can decompress. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
I admire this. I think that it's so fascinating. When I first saw the diagram, and there's another school with these sort of linear, okay, it's going to be another boring Chinese school. Absolutely not. And it's intriguing to me that, you know, it's as if you've taken Mr. Fujimori's houses and brought them into, they are playthings. The tree houses are playthings, and then the tree walk, as it appears to be, and then the loose, I mean, dare I use the term plug-in? It has all the overtones of the open-ended piece of space with structures that you can put toy buildings in. So that lifts in another sort of international conversation about the toy building vis-a-vis the major building. And then you do this folding thing, which I think I first met years ago in the Free University of Berlin. There are all sorts of things that have been circulating elsewhere. One never would have thought they would have been brought into a, you know, get it done Chinese school. I think this is, I think you're heroic. And maybe this is the beginning of something where you're able to burst out of this hard-working straitjacket building. I think it's really intriguing. I mean, maybe it's again, to use the terrible word, cultural level, a state of play, a possible state of play. Even if some of the ideas you can dig around in recent history and find that other people were thinking them, but they were thinking them under other circumstances in other places, and very, very infrequently built them anyhow. So I think it's doubly commendable, and one never expected it. I'd seen it out of the corner of my eye yesterday somewhere, and I thought, what the hell is going on there? Didn't connect it with the first aerial view, but I'm glad to say that. It is not boring. They will not be bored.
Interesting.
Very good presentation, and I think when I saw it as well, I thought colonnades on the outside. Well, that's not a usual school. Schools tend to be classrooms right up to the perimeter, and you've not done that. To me, what's fascinating about it is that you've created at least 2 levels of external space for the students to navigate. An interesting thing is that we've all known for a long time that students need to walk, exercise, they need to move, not always being chaperoned down a corridor from one class to another. So the whole facade is animated by the fact that you've got movement in a school, which is what kids need, apart from as part of their learning process. So for me, it's a fascinating project you've done, and doing it in an environment where, some of the work we've done in China, everything is very regimented, and you've been able to pull it out, which I think is a fantastic piece of work.
Yes, I agree. I like the way, there's something very Chinese about saying, we're going to relax and have something different and break the rules, but we tightly contain it in this box where we can sort of do the experiment, but it won't burst out everywhere else. So I think it's something very unique about that, because it's kind of like an aquarium or an ant farm or something where you can see all the relaxation and breaking of the rules happening on clear display. So I think it's sort of very subversive, at the same time very smart, that you do it in a way that suits the system. So I think it's a really clever project.
Thank you. Thank you.